Hey guys, welcome to Zone's Little Hobbies, and today we are talking about Neolamprologus multifasciatus. Yes, we are talking about my shell dweller cichlid. I told you guys I would do an update, and today not only are we going to be doing an update, but I'm going to basically be telling you why I got the fish, how I got into them, and some basic information about keeping them. Now, while I am going to tell you why I got into them and some basic information about them, this is the first time I'm ever keeping them, so I can't talk from experience. I can only talk from my research on them, and that's about it. So please, if you are thinking about keeping them, yes, watch this video to get some really good information about them, but I would really highly recommend you to do a lot more research about them. Watch other YouTubers who have more experience with them. Read as much as you can up about them. They're a really simple, easy fish to keep, assuming you do the right research. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start talking about Neolamprologus multifasciatus. Alright, so why am I keeping Neolamprologus multifasciatus? Why am I keeping cichlids in general? Okay, so, please do not get mad at me, but as a novice to the aquarium hobby, and as a completely inexperienced person, every time I looked up the word cichlid, I got three things that came up. I got big, which I'm generally not into the big fish at all. I like the smaller fish, the 2 to maybe 3-4 inch fish. I find them cute, I find them adorable. I don't want to keep a 7-inch gigantic monster fish that I have to have a monster tank for. I'm just not into it. I personally like the smaller variety of fish. So every time I heard about cichlids, I heard they're big, they're beautiful, and they're mean. I keep hearing that they are super aggressive, and yes, while they're big and beautiful, if you're not willing to deal with their aggression, then you shouldn't get them. That's what I've always heard about cichlids in general. That's me being a complete novice and inexperienced aquarium hobbyist. I did not know anything else about cichlids at the time. I did not know about the 3 Great Lakes that cichlids come from. I did not know about the hundreds and hundreds of species of cichlids out there. And I did not know that they came in any size except big. So, I set out a long time ago to make a bucket list. I want to keep fish. That's been on my bucket list since I was a really little kid. I've always been interested in fish. I've always loved fish. And I set out that I want to keep. But I was doing more research on fish. What fish could be cool, what fish could be interesting, trying to find stuff that I'm interested in. There's one channel that always tends to come up on YouTube. The King of DIY. If you haven't noticed, I'm wearing his t-shirt. I absolutely love Joey, the King of DIY. I love his channel. I'm jealous of his channel. I think he is an amazing fish tank keeper. And he just has so much more experience than me. I really like watching his vids to find out more information. Well, he came out with this one video a little while ago. It was about 2 years ago. He made a video about Neolamprologus cichlids. That's the fish that he had. He was keeping cichlids. I'm keeping multifasciatus. And the only reason why I'm keeping multis and not cichlids is because of availability. Multifasciatus are a little bit more available than cichlids, which is why I'm keeping them. But the point is, he made a video about shell dweller cichlids. Now, so imagine my shock when I start learning from his channel about the world's smallest cichlid. And not only about the world's smallest cichlid, but how fascinating and incredible creatures they are. That's why I decided right there, right then, after watching his second video about him, I decided that, yeah, I want to keep these guys at least once. I put them on my list of 10 fish that I want to keep. I want to keep Neolamprologus multifasciatus. Now, to tell you a little bit of history about this tank, my betta fish died, and that was 2 months ago, and actually about 2.5 months ago now, and it made me very sad. I took down the tank, I put up the tank, I couldn't even look at the tank anymore. I was pretty sad when I lost my betta fish. But as I'm sitting back, remembering the betta fish, I also remember that there's more fish that I want to keep in the aquarium hobby. And eventually I got to wanting Neolamprologus multifasciatus again. So what I did is, I set the tank back up. I got some shells, I made a nice little aquascape for him, and I got the fish. Now to give you some basic information about shell dweller cichlids. Remember, this is basic information that you could search up on Google. This is not coming from experience because this is my first time keeping them. So, the basic information about shell dweller cichlids. So, there's a couple different species of shell dweller cichlids. The type that I am keeping is Neolamprologus multifasciatus, or the multi-cichlid, or just call them the shell dweller cichlid. Now, if you guys are going to be up and everything, you want the scientific name, which is Neolamprologus multifasciatus. It's a mouthful, and it took me about 1,000,000 tries until I got the name right. I'm not gonna lie. Now I'm able to say it like that, Neolamprologus multifasciatus, Neolamprologus multifasciatus. I can keep going. But if you're gonna search up this fish, use the scientific name and not just say multis. But a lot of people, just for simplicity's sake, they're called multis, and that's what I'm gonna be calling them for the rest of this video. Because saying Neolamprologus multifasciatus 1,000,000 times gets pretty old, don't you guys think? Okay, let's go ahead and continue on. So what they do is, it's pretty cool. In the wild, they come from Lake Tanganyika, which is one of the biggest freshwater lakes in the world, and has the most volume of water of any tank. It's not very wide as some of the other lakes, but it has a very large volume of water. In fact, it's the largest volume of fresh water in the world. That's where these guys come from. Now, Lake Tanganyika is a very big place, but these guys are usually found near the shore. They're found near the shore around, if you look up their specific environments, it's nothing but sand, some rock here and there, mostly sand, and shells. And what they do in their natural habitat is, well, in the wild, when a snail would die, they will usually go pick up the dead snail shell and then use it as a home. So they basically reuse old homes, basically talk about finding an old place to live in, right? And that's what they do. That's why they're called shell dweller cichlids, because they actually live in shells. Now, in the natural wild, a male will set up a territory. A male will set up a territory of about maybe a foot to 15 inches, I'm gonna say 18 inches. About a foot to 18 inches, a square foot to about 12 inches to 18 inches, a square foot of about that size. A male will set up a territory. And then the females, what they will go do is they will go off and they will find their favorite shells, drag it back to their favorite spot in the territory. They'll usually grab a couple shells. They'll have about maybe 5 or 6 females per male in the wild. And the male, of course, once the female has it all set up, they'll call the boyfriends over the male, and pretty soon you got some fry. That's basically how that works. And that's what they do in the wild. And what they do is they basically protect themselves, their own little territory, from both predators as well as competition. Because males and other males will fight with each other and all that. It's actually really cool to see. If you have a large enough tank, you can set up what's called a colony, or at least a couple different colonies. A colony of shell-dweller cichlids is really one male to about 5 females. That's usually a colony, maybe 6 females. And if you have a large enough tank, remember, they'll set up a perimeter, a territory of about a foot. So that means if you got even a 30-gallon long tank or a 20-gallon long tank, if you got a wide enough tank, you can set up pretty much 3 or 4 different little communities of these guys, and these guys will protect themselves and watch over themselves, and the males might even tussle over territory and stuff like that. They're very interesting, very cool from what I've done on my research. Again, this is the first time I'm ever keeping them. And what I have here is, of course, a Flex 9-gallon aquarium. And it's only about a foot, so I can keep a male to about 3 to 5 females and set up one specific colony and let them grow. And that's what I'm hoping to do. Am I hoping to breed them? If they breed, I will be over the hill. But I really can't force them to do that, you know? That's gonna pretty much happen naturally. However, shell-dweller cichlids is one of the easiest fish to breed from what I understand. All you really need is clean water, a good pH. They typically, because they come from Lake Tanganyika, which is a very, very hard water lake, they usually come from a pH of 7.8 to maybe 8.2. So what you guys want to do is you guys want to really, if you're keeping this fish, you want to try to keep them in a pH of 8.0 at least. That's when they're most comfortable. Degree-wise, about 75 degrees is just fine for them. pH-wise, again, 8.0. And make sure you keep not only clean water, but consistent levels. The best way to do that is, if you guys need to, use either cichlid sand or use some crushed coral or something to raise the pH and keep it stable. I don't have that problem because I'm on a well and my pH here in Arizona is always 8.0 because I'm on a well, so, you know, I have the perfect water to keep them. And yeah, as long as you provide them with shells and sand, they will breed. So hopefully my fish breed. Now, the thing about them breeding is, so if you're just trying to breed them, the best way to actually breed them is not by using shells. The best way to breed them is actually by using PVC pipes. They're larger, they're bigger, they're easier to get the fish out of, because a lot of the times baby shell dwellers don't want to come out of their shells. And that's what's really interesting about this fish, is that when they're really small and when they're really young, they won't venture too far away from their home. And as they get larger, they will eventually come out more and more. It will take about 6 months to a year before they reach sexual maturity. And it will take about maybe 6 months or so before you can actually sell them if you are interested in selling them, trying to make some money off of them and stuff like that. But most of the time what you want to do is you just want to set up a display tank with these guys, and the best way to, the best shell to use, in my opinion, is the escargot shell. That's what everybody tends to use, and that's what these guys do pretty well with. So, and as for feeding, you just want to find yourself a good cichlid diet, either a pellet or a flake. Flakes are probably easier. What I like to feed personally is the omega-1 cichlid pellet, and what I do is I take the little pellets and I crush them to as small of a size as I can get them. And I also mix it with some Hikari Daphnia, and so far in this video is the first time that I've had the lights on them. They've only been in the tank for about 36 hours or so at this point, and this is my first time trying to feed them. You can see in the start of the video that I may have added a little too much, but I did see them actually go after some of the food. They might take a little while longer until they really feel comfortable with eating, but what you want to feed them in the home aquarium is, yeah, just find a good cichlid pellet or a cichlid flake and crush it to as small of a size as you possibly can for these little fish. But that is about it when it comes to the shell dweller cichlid. That's my story with the shell dweller cichlid. I absolutely love these little guys. I am so excited to have them. I will be making more updated videos on these guys real soon. And that's about it for now. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, I am talking out of just basic information you can find on Google. I'm not talking from experience because this is the first time I ever am keeping them. So, if you guys are watching this video hoping to get information about them, I really stress that you do more research than just watching this video. But thank you guys for watching this video, and I'm out. Bye!